Today is December 4th, Sunday, 2022, 3:33 a.m. Central Standard Time. This video is made with love by love despite its presentation style. So this is a PSA announcement to all of the people who live in the United States. Now, I would put it out to people who live on planet Earth, and I can do that. And so this is, again, video made with love by love despite its presentation style. What do I mean by that? That means that sometimes you have to yell at people in order for them to listen. Sometimes you have to swear at people in order to get them to listen. Now, I'm going to use simple words like mad, sad, and glad right now. And so, again, it's December 4th. And so I just realized, well, and not saying, but I mean in detail, that the government uses numbers, the power in numbers, to intimidate one person, like such as myself. Anyway. And so then they go around, they, i.e., the government, the hired employees that use our money to pay themselves, then in turn go around and bully, intimidate others individually as a facade, i.e., a building, and come as you as to you as an agent. Okay. So anyway, my point to all this. So I'm supposed to be moving, but you can see I'm still here. All right. This is very important. Listen to me closely. That's very important. To the two people that watched the video last 2 weeks, shout out to you. And to the 9 people prior to that, shout out to you. I mean that wholeheartedly. Sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I am not. Thank you so much. And now, because you can post things in the community section, please look there for the things that I write via email while I'm not on BoobTube making a video. So anyway, I use email because, as I have said before, I've been banned from Twitter, Twatter, Facebook, deactivated IG twice. Was there an, oh yeah, and Google Plus, it's been since deactivated altogether. Everybody got booted off of it. Like many others are getting booted off of BoobTube for telling the truth, and in their own way. Okay, it doesn't really matter if the person doesn't like it. So this is the reason why I'm making the video. Anyway, so I had my family, like many other families, but now you don't really realize it. You know, it's like you don't really think that your family would go and get an insurance policy on you, steal your trust fund and inheritance because you were the mixed person, i.e. black and white, and they were all white, and so you were the odd person out. So they decided that they'd circle the wagons and then leave you out of your own shit, i.e. the trust fund and the house that my mom currently lives in on Blair in St. Paul, Minnesota. And then also my son, whose birthday, shout out to Randall, on December 16th will be 26 years old. And so who knew that your own family member would molest and your children, i.e. my ex-husband, Carl Gim. And so he would be a pedophile and molest my own children and rape and molest me. And then people would want to silence me in my little expression of healing myself in my own Me Too movement of using the Bible to heal myself. Now, that's a whole nother story in and of itself on what transpired with using the Bible, but we'll just leave that out. So anyway, so then now, well, no, I can't leave that out. So in the process of healing myself with the Bible, Psalm 23, God recruits me to be a spokesperson. All right. Well, you start out as the spokesperson. Well, it's been 7 years later. Well, eventually you get tired of being a spokesperson for an invisible fucking host. Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. They say that the idea of a lunch and a sandwich bag was because people overstayed their welcome. Now stick with me. This is about the village and this is about United States. So okay, so I was listening to somebody the other day and we are the United States all a village and they be taking the village idiots at the top be taking our shit and giving it to other village. Shut the door right now. This is what I'm about to say to everybody. We we're like the village idiots at the moment. Okay, I need all the village people to get together and YMCA all at the same time here. This a problem. This a problem, village people in United States and any other country in which you reside. So now I realized I was reading because I keep getting bullied in the power by numbers, i.e., the government keep coming at me, and I'm just one person with no weapons, none. I mean, I had a hammer. Listen, I told my elderly friend this all is ties together. She's going to be 98 years old. Now, she's the eldest person I know, so just take planet Earth, and the oldest person, I mean, only can be up to 120. And so, I mean, if you know somebody that's older, I mean, that's like a big deal. Okay. Anyway, so she and I are sitting here waiting to find out where I'm supposed to be moving to. Okay, now wait, keywords where I'm supposed to be. Shouldn't I be knowing where I'm moving to? Okay, I'm the one moving. I'm just saying this. Okay, anyway. So she was asking me, well, when are they going to tell you? Because I'm going to try to move to, listen, a government. Oh, it's everybody just come over here and slap me now, all right, to a government facility. But we'll leave, oh, well, no, we can't leave that out either. That I had to go and I needed a green card and a note for my pets. I get a note for my pets, then they take my blood, then they call me back and then ask me to take my blood again, but they took it 2 weeks prior. But then they wanted to charge me for the blood, for taking the blood, keyword taking the blood. So go to Gina Marie Colvin's about how they're different blood types. Okay. Well, then they wanted to charge me $500 to tell me what my blood type was. Well, now stick with me, village people. And so then blood creates life, DNA creates life. Now, Jeremiah Babe, and check out his channel. He was talking about, well, he talks about the money numbers and running the numbers. Oh, and how they were taking the money and shipping it overseas. And well, then I realized it takes a village. Why are the village people at the top taking the village people's stuff and sending it to other village people? You better not do that. No. And so then now, if I was like the village watcher, Russia and China are coming because the village people at the top done sold all the other village people's stuff. I'm going to call them the village idiots. The village idiots at the top sold all the village people's stuff, and now Russia and China want to come and collect because it's all the mafia. So then the street runners seem like they're against the people at the top, but they're all in the same group. And so then they're playing good guy, bad guy. Okay. So all the missing children, they really know, village idiots at the top really know where they are. Now, so I had to ask myself, now this is a real question. So then is the Washington, I call it, on Penis Avenue, is that a building, that's a facade. So, like my face, my skin, my flesh is a facade, okay? That's my temple, it's a facade. So, they use my face, your face, everybody's face inside their facade to run their bigger facade on top of the village people. Okay, now we're the village idiots, all right? And they're running game on all of us, all right? And so then now back to my friend who's 98. She says, well, I wonder when they're gonna, and I go, yeah, me too. Now it's Thanksgiving. I'm supposed to be out in September. I gave a year's notice to vacate, and in June they meaning the Parkers next door, the owners, harassing me saying, since you found a place, and in unbeknownst to myself, sent an eviction notice when I'm not even behind in rent to the Minnesota Prairie Alliance people, Brandon and Karina, to tell them, give them a shout out, so then the powers and numbers that be could come against me and then run game behind me. And I don't even know. Listen, village, me an idiot too. I'm just saying, it happens. It happens to the best of us every frickin' day. It happens, okay, in all kinds of different ways. So then, like a Rubik's Cube, everybody's coming with their, like, one way, they come one way, and then next minute they do another flip, and then next, when they say, no, that's not the way they came at you the first time, you better be quiet. Anyway, so then now, my mom, I don't have a car since 2015, and somebody tampered with it and I damn near died. Okay. So then I sold it to a person that worked at the auto body shop. And then I called to ensure that he changed the title. And when doing so, he accused me of trying to kill him and tampering with the car, and he was injured badly, and he was a mechanic himself, and this was in 2015. Stick with me. And so then I thought, this what I did to him, the same thing that they do to Kanye and other people who tell the truth. Oh, you're crazy, you're delusional, blah blah school, blah blah. Okay, yeah, well, I'm crazy because I listened to your bullshit. Now there's 8 billion people listen to me here. Now I'm going to talk to earthly people. Now there's 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody's selling their own kind of brand of bullshit. And so then you have to decide whether you're buying it or not. And so then this is where the discernment comes in, the gnosis. Go to my community page and check it out about the intellectual design includes creation, i.e., blood and DNA, whereas washing dumb and penis avenue is intellectual property, and they steal the stem cells at birth from the hospital, and it's run a game on all of the people, humans. Okay, now we're all village idiots because now we all live on planet Earth and we're all villagers. And so then why are people starving and homeless if we're all villagers and we're all the same, i.e., village people? Okay, we don't look the same, we don't all eat the same, but we're all on the same planet, and there should be no reason why all of the village people are starving and only a few of the village people are thriving. Now that's, okay, back to us then being village idiots. Okay, so then now me and the Bible. So then people who pray, okay, they now Pray, not Prey, but they're the same. They're one and the same. They're interchangeable. So then people who pray, Pray, right now, will only pray, and also people who in the spiritual community want to manifest something, only want to manifest something for themselves or for their own family. So in my case, I had cancer. And so when I was going to church, I realized people only prayed for people who had, it's been like, oh, Robin has cancer. Okay, well, but no one acknowledged that, so they didn't pray for me. But anyway, so let's say Susie has cancer, and let's pray for Susie. And so then I realized, I'm like, why are we just praying for Susie? Why don't we all pray for, everybody who has cancer? Because what the deal is, the mind, i.e., the gnosis, go to the community page, and it's GSNOISIS, something like that. Anyway, I'm going off my head, so don't quote me on that. She spelled that wrong, and then we're gonna report her. Okay, brings me to why I'm here. All right. So anyway, so this guy, I thought mistaken identity was this person who bought the car, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" And this is the guy who bought the car, and they tried to kill him too. Okay, so not only in my own attempt, my own family trying to kill me in the car accident attempt, tampering with the car, and then getting an insurance policy, running insurance fraud on me, and protecting pedophiles and stealing trust fund and a house and other inheritance and opening my mail and violating boundaries. And then the Minnesota Prairie Alliance, Brandon Smith, shout out to you, wants to power of suggestion, email me, and I'm still living here, and to encourage me not to alert other village people in the community that the village idiots are stealing our stuff and that Russia and China are about to come and invade America and steal our stuff because the top village idiots done sold us all out, and now we're all in the same shit wagon. It doesn't matter what color you are, what you believe in, and blah de screw blah blah, all the crap people want to nitpick to death. Okay, so then this shout out to high priestess intuitive high priestess Mary Smith. She was nitpicking, unique, and apologetic about her use of YOUR, okay, instead of YOURE, apostrophe E, blah, blah, blah. And people know what the fuck that is, but this how you nitpick a fuck, okay? So then this is all important, all right? So anyway, her mom contacted her, and she chose not to speak to her. And so then, but she wrote, my sperm donating mother, but she's a nurse, and women have eggs, okay, men have sperm. So now that's nitpicking. That's worth nitpicking. You see what I'm saying? Not your, because then now people might really think women are sperm donors, okay, and so then anyway, so nitpicking. So anyway, back to this guy, mistaken identity. So he says, please don't email me. So then I say, well, I thought you were the person that he didn't ever correct me. I put you on here because I think you're the person that bought my car, and they tried to kill you too. And then he didn't say that was incorrect or anything. And so then I said, he goes, just please stop. And I said, do you live on the planet Earth, or do you live in America, or do you have children? And do you care about pedophiles? Then if so, then, I'm going to continue to email you. And so then he on October 22nd, I guess, because I just looked, sent me an idle threat saying, I'm going to call the FCC and the Google Commission to get you kicked off of the internet. And so then in my emails to all of these different people, one of them is Mark Zuckerberg, and one used to be Bill Clinton on Twitter until I don't have a Twitter page, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. Anyway, I'll leave it at that at the minute. But, and the FCC, Tom somebody or another, Wheeler at the time, he might still be it, he might not be. It doesn't matter, but he still has an email. And so then I say, here's the FCC person right here, and here's Mark Zuckerberg, the information specialist, or the misinformation person, which really means that they don't want the truth to get out because they're big fat liars, okay? And so they don't want the other village people to know that the village top idiots have been using the middleman, the village people, middle idiots, to management to run game on everybody else. And so then the bottom village people that are working 9 to 5, when they want to have a complaint or whatever, and then they go to the office's facade, okay? And then the powers that be, you go and tell your story over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh, wait, let me say it over and over and over and over and over to another village idiot, to another village idiot, to another village idiot. Anyway, until then you don't want to tell your story anymore, and then you want to go and kill yourself. And then that's what's designed to do. So anyway, what is wrong with you people out there that are so thin skinned? This is to John Tusumi, and he sells real estate so that he can use the email to sell real estate and solicit email to real estate, oops, to me, but I can't send him an email about truth and clang in a pan and letting everybody know we're about not to have any food or shelter or clothing. And I'm not the only person that's saying that. And we're about to be infiltrated from the ethers, okay, from UFOs. But go to Gina Marie Colvin's page to check it out. And there's other people, Mr. MBB3, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't mean to be a smarty pants about it. So now, because our village idiots in Washington chose to frick around, now we have an etheric war coming to USA and planet Earth. Not just a galactic war like Star Wars. No, no, no. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. So now I'm out here clanging a pan and a band, and I haven't ever emailed anybody else about jack squat outside of anything real. And now this guy today wanted to start a class action suit. Now this brings from you can block and delete and drag it in the trash, but other people can spam bot you and he can use it to solicit real estate. And then I'm talking real stuff, and then he wants to escalate it to a civil suit. Like, shout out to Crystal Farm at Metropolitan Credit Union on 475 Etna Street in St. Paul, Minnesota, East Side, racist redneck. And so a shout out to the Minnesota Witches Wicca capital. And I apologize to all the witches out there. I don't mean to be a bitch on top of that, because shit is hard enough. There are people who are decent people and have been run game on, and they include witches, okay? So I don't mean to come at you sideways when I'm talking about other stuff that you might not even have been privy to, like Christmas and Easter and Halloween being hijacked, okay, by these demonic forces, and they're connected to the underworld and necrophilia. Even though you use the cards, they're contacting and conjuring other demons in lieu and behind the energy that you're shuffling with. So then this is how they're peeping game on everybody else. So then this is how they're robbing energy from everybody's hood. And shout out to Date. I don't know why you dipped on the thread, but she did. See, she chose to use the power of the button and put a block on my thread, which I have no problem, because I'll just drop it here. Okay, this is how I play. But it's like, that's how you go. You have to go direct. You can't make a video and then think you're making a big deal, and then you don't drop it directly to the person you're talking about, or to, or at, coming at them sideways. This why, Remedy H, I say you the new blackface for the Saxons, because you don't even call out the Saxons in your own community. You just lump them all together like they lumped all the black people together, all the indigenous people. You do the same thing, but in a different way. This why it isn't like high vibrational. You come at people sideways. This is why people shouldn't be saying shit, and this is why people should be minding their own matter, and the brain is a matter, i.e. the gnosis, and so then you should be minding your own matter and not anybody else's business. But in this case, this is all a collective business situation that we are all under, and we need to come together in order to overtake the top village idiots before they go rogue, because they're delusional and they're fucking up the rest of the village people. Now, lastly, I chose to pray for everybody, despite what their background was or what they did in the dark, for everybody to have food, water, clothing, and shelter. So then my vision board included everybody from the dirt bag to the, the decent person to the kind of not decent person. I didn't really give a shit. And then here, John Sunumi Toomey, the real estate solicitor on email, wants to band together and then collect people to get together to try to get a class action suit. This is where I'm talking about. I tried to de-escalate a situation with mulch in 2021 with the sheriff, and I didn't know Scott Rose, Dodge County, Minnesota, was running game, i.e. sex and drugs and other bullshit. And then now I'm sitting here isolated, and then now back to my 98-year friend. I'm swearing to her, at her, about not knowing where I'm going to move. And then they, i.e. Minnesota Prairie Alliance and Brandon Smith, encouraged me 2 weeks after I was supposed to move out, and I was emailing them prior to, wanting to know what was going on, and they ghosted and gaslighted, Karina and Schmitz and Brandon ghosted me and didn't respond. Carrie, hi. Thank you for picking me up on the 18th. And we went, and then I had to get another form filled out for the cats, because the first note that I had written for the cats, companion cats, wasn't adequate. So then now it's a month later, and shout out to Janie, and the Mailwood place, yeah, in Rochester, just opened up in March, and then October of last year, but they couldn't find any staff. And then in September, that was the first time I met her. And then the people here, the Parkers, then all of a sudden decided to refuse to take money that they've been getting the whole time, so then they could try to run game and by the power of numbers and behind my back, and try to kick me out because they were slandering my name and saying I was a witch. Well, now I could be, but then now I wasn't, because I was using back to the Bible to heal myself, and then God recruited me. Now add that into the mix, okay? So then hence my apology to other people who, because I practice Christmas and Easter and all the other stuff, and I have a hard time wanting to let it go, but it's like, when you know what you know, then you don't want to participate and partake, because they're harvesting our energy and they're siphoning it other ways. And even though we have good intent in front of it, they do not behind it. And that carries more weight at this time. And this is why we're stuck where we are stuck, and why we are stuck and stagnant. And this is why just making videos is not adequate, and you have to direct them. And now that you can tag a person in it, then you should tag the person that you're talking to or about, or directing it to the proper so-called authorities, which are all corrupt. Okay, so back to the village idiots and back to the village people, i.e. in the United States. Clang, clang, clang. The bears are coming. And now our China candles from the dollar store are $2.50. They're no longer a dollar. And then Nancy, who has no beef, is going with no patty to start shit. Hello, the drunken, sloppy person is going over. You better shut. Clang, 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 says the bell. Clang, 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 says the bell. Hello, anybody home out there besides this village idiot? Can I get a village idiot in the house here? Anybody, any two of you, and not in a mean way. Can you clang the frickin' bell? Hello. You need to call out the people in your family, your immediate circle, that are running game. Everybody knows who the fuck stole your lunch in kindergarten, who pulled your hair, who picked your nose, who pushed you in this debating school the daytime hour. You know it all. You know it. Say it like you mean it. Name the name. Fill in the blank. I'm over here naming the name, and then I call the FBI and tell them I'm in danger in 2015. I'm still sitting here sucking hind titty. And then the lady, i.e., my friend, who's going to be 98 in December, Mervis, shout out. I love her so much. She's so sweet. Anyway, I'm swearing at the sweetest lady, and then I realized, wait, I'm a kind soul too. And then how did I get not knowing where I'm going to move and how I'm going to move? And that's because I trusted the facade. Back to you. I trusted the facade, the building, and then the people, using them by numbers. So this is how they're getting over on us, by taking the numbers of the minds and twisting them against the mind over matter. Okay, listen to me again. Mind over matter. That's a dead thing. Like the couch, I've been aiming on it. That's a dead thing. Okay, that's a facade. It's not real. All right. And so investing in real things like a cow and seeds and farming and farmers, that's real thing, because you can eat that. Even shout out to Michi, you eating shit and then you die, you know. But no, we still need to invest in food technology. They can shut that shit down. Okay. We need to invest things that we can raise and grow. Okay. Back to raising and growing children, raising and growing cattle and farm food, you know, corn, peas, stuff like that. Okay, that's your raising. That is a production. You end up with something after you start it and you finish it and you do stuff in between. Okay, and so then now that's intellectual design, that's creation, that includes creation. Intellectual property steals the stem cells from literally the placenta from the hospital, creates clones and then replicas of us, so then when they take us out, they can program them with numbers, and then they can run the numbers games on these lesser, dumbed down versions of what look to be like ourselves, so then they don't offset the balance of creation by taking out creation by the numbers, by the masses, because this is the book of Revelation time. And so then, therefore, it is judgment. And now it's about me in this minute, about when I talk to people, i.e., I was emailing the lady across the street, and she said, this is my work. You are so selfish. Do you only think about yourself? And this the other day. So then I looked up selfish. Well, I'm selfless. I don't even care about myself. I'm banging the pan for everybody. Before, I cared about myself and I tried, but I had no success because I did not know that all the village idiots were corrupt. That means the feds, that means the police, that means the sheriffs, that means everybody, because nobody knows, i.e., shout out Phoenix Marvelous and her brain, nobody knows the status of one's mindset. Okay, so if you really took a picture of one's image of one's mind, you could see where the trauma lies. And i.e., I was a survivor. I am, I guess, a survivor of incest and sex trafficking that my mom sold me into, and all of the things that she said that I did that she is and was. And so it doesn't mean that I might have not did it or done it or whatever, but the only person I can defend is myself, is because I know only where I have been and who, what, where, and when. Just as if you all know who, what, where, and when, who stole what, who copied what, who cheated, who didn't really graduated, who really couldn't read, and now those people are on jobs, and then they suck, lick, fuck, dick, what the fuck ever, to get ahead, power, and clout, and then use the system to shit on people, and then use black magic, and then the village top idiots use it collectively and use all the knowledge that they gathered from all the data mining from your minds, i.e., the gnosis collected and then put into the oracle, i.e., and the cloud, and all of the intellectual design, the technology data that is harvested from our cell phones. Every push of the button is text, a text, a character, and you create the outline by using the keyboard, and you are writing their narrative, their story, and you are filling in the blanks, and then you are moving in the manners and with the constraints of the confines of the blanks in which you have written for yourself. And this is how, back to Cindy Awakening Tarot, that you just follow shit that man wrote and you need to write your own and create your own success or journey or, your dreams. Don't let anybody talk you out of your dreams because that's your ticket to success.